Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidwaram Satgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Bhagavad Gita is called as Margadarshaka Grantha. Margadarshaka means that which will show me the path, that which will show me the technique of how to think. Question asked by Arjuna was very simple. Bhagwan, please tell me, should I fight? Or is it better to run away from this battlefield? Bhagwan Krishna, like a good teacher, doesn't give only an immediate answer. What is an immediate answer? Yes or no. Either he will say, stay here and fight, or he say, okay, I don't think it's worth staying here and fighting, let's go back. Bhagwan paints a very big, broad picture of different facets of life, different perspectives. And he says, Arjuna, I have trained your intellect to think through all these facets. Now you decide for yourself what you should do. So in first chapter, Arjuna presented condition of his mind, all the doubts that he had, he presented. Second chapter, Bhagwan started from the supreme-most level, Panditaha na anushochanti. Wise people do not grieve, because they have this knowledge. Other than the self, there is nothing here which is absolutely real. Rooted in that consciousness, rooted in that truth, they don't grieve over things excessively. That is their greatness. Then he came one notch down. From dharma standpoint also he said, if you have lived a dharmic life, there is nothing to grieve. These karmas are so powerful. Somebody has done good karma, karma phala has to be good. So even from dharma standpoint, you need not grieve, because this battle which is there in front of you is a dharmic act. For your duty as a Kshatriya, this particular battle is your dharma. And this point we had seen in the beginning of 4th chapter. How do you translate Arjuna's situation in our life? Now we are not going to fight literal battle, but everyday life presents our own different battles. There we should remember, this is an opportunity for me to do my dharma. It is better that I fail doing this duty of mine than running away. A failure doing our duty sincerely is much greater than duty forbidden or forsaken, just letting go of some duty and running away from that duty. Then Bhagwan comes from a very transactional standpoint. He says, Arjuna, look at this body. It was not there at some point. It is there at this time. It will perish at some point. So why are you so excessively concerned or attached with this body? Everything is temporary over here. Appreciate the temporariness of this world and come out of your sorrow. Certain facets of life, more we appreciate it, better equipped we become to deal with it. So in our mind only, if we have already gone through this facet, that everything here is temporary. Nothing I can hold on to. This body itself is temporary. All sambandhas are relations, are also time bound. So whatever duration we are together, he says, make it a sweet, memorable experience. Don't try to hold on to anything longer than what it needs to. So like this, 3 different standpoints Bhagavan gives. Finally, he praises Karma Yoga. Arjuna, it's not only important that you somehow or the other act in this world. We should act in a way that we grow out of desires. Mind becomes free. Mind becomes beautiful. In spite of imperfections being there outside, this sadhaka is happy inside. That is his mindset. That is an insignia of Karma Yogi. Sometimes we feel Karma Yogi means everything outside is perfect. Best co-workers. The job that he is doing also, he really enjoys that work. That is one part of Karma Yoga where Karma Yoga can be practiced. But real test will come when that karma appears to be Ghora Karma. That was Arjuna's question in 3rd chapter. He said, Tatkim karmani ghore mam. Why are you pushing me in this Ghora Karma where nobody appreciates what I am doing? In fact, there are more obstacles than the support. In the midst of all that, if a person can hold on to Karma Yoga, that person is advanced Karma Yogi. Having praised Karma Yoga like this, Bhagavan then elaborated Jnana Yoga in few verses in 2nd chapter. He said, the day you understand Upanishad mantras clearly, you can put everything in context. That is the time when you are liberated. Liberation is not an event which happens in time. It is not some mystic experience, some light, some kind of calmness of mind. All of that is preparation for it. But he says true insignia of knowledge or true insignia of liberation is knowledge. Shruti vipratipannate yada sthasyati nischala. Shruti vipratipanna means contradictory statements of Upanishads become very clear to you. Everything seems to be seamless. And it will happen as and when we study Bhagavad Gita also. If we are alert, we will notice what is said in 1st chapter, 2nd chapter, 3rd and so on. Everything is, the jigsaw puzzle is fitting together. If you don't study it in that way, then every piece looks very discrete. 18 different pieces scattered all over. But in Bhagavan Krishna's mind, he is talking about the same truth. Like that, when we can seamlessly understand what is Upanishad telling. Upanishad is telling us our essential nature is pure consciousness. We are not this conditioning. Essential nature of world is also consciousness. It is not only name and form. The day this clarity comes, Bhagavan says that day you are liberated. Then Arjuna asked about how does a wise person live? How does he talk? How does he transact in this world? Then Siddha Prajna Lakshana was elaborated. Then in 3rd chapter, Arjuna again asked a question. The reason I am recapping is the question he asks in 3rd chapter and the question he asks in 5th chapter. Both look very similar. That is why we are recapping. But they are not similar, there is a difference. In 3rd chapter, how did Arjuna start the question? Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi he Keshava. He said, if you are considering knowledge of that supreme most truth to be the greatest, Jayasi chet karmanaste. Jayasi means you are considering knowledge to be greater than action, karma yoga. If this is your understanding, mata buddhir janardana, tat kim karmani ghore karmani mam niyojasi. Why are you pushing me into this karma yoga, karma, which is having so much of outwardness? Means you have to go out. In our context, it will be whatever work we are doing throughout the day. So wherever we are in teams, if I have to do something, I'm okay. But the moment you are doing a project with a team, suddenly it appears Ghora Karma. So what you want and what the team wants. Arjuna is asking, anyway, this is not the goal. Karma Yoga is not the goal. You said, Jnanam is what I should attain. I should know myself to be that actionless self. That is the goal. Then what is the point in doing all this? Every other day you get agitated. Then Bhagavan says, Karma Yoga is the preparation which will beautify the mind, and Jnanam is the goal where we have to reach. He says they are not two parallel paths that you choose one or the other. If you are unable to handle mind in Vyavahara, transaction, that mind will not be able to handle the supreme-most truth. It will not be able to benefit from the result of knowledge. That's why Bhagavan elaborated the secret of Karma Yoga, where all different facets were brought about. He said, whatever you want in life, you have to give first. That is how Bhagavan has made this whole creation. Parasparam bhavayantaha shreyaha param avapsyata. Every person in our life is like a devata. We help others. Whatever we want will come back to us through everybody else. Now these are Bhagavan Krishna's Siddhanta. He says you don't have to believe just because Bhagavan Krishna is saying. He says you try it out. Try living a self-centered life. That is easier to try. Wherever we go, think about what will I get here. And then see what is the perspective, what is the response we get from other people. We can imagine and only do that activity. We don't have to go through it and do. Then he says, on the other hand, if somebody is there who is always thinking about others, sarva bhuta hite rataha, always thinking about giving, Bhagavan said, whatever that person needs in life, he will be blessed with. And that is the experience of every seeker who has walked that path. That sadhaka says, I got much more than what I gave. So like this, Bhagavan mentioned different facets of Karma Yoga. Mukta Sangaha Samachara. Doing work diligently, doing it very well, but not becoming possessive about it. Or the other extreme, letting go of work in such a way that you don't care about it. He said, avoid both extremes. In between is a Karma Yogi. Mukta Sangaha Samachara. So that he mentioned in 3rd chapter. I'm not recapping the whole thing, just the key ideas. Otherwise we'll never reach 5th chapter if I again go over the whole thing. Then came 4th chapter, where Bhagavan said, Arjuna, you are my friend and you are very dear to me. That is why I'm going to give you this rahasyam, the secret of supreme-most truth, having known which all great people in the past have become free from sorrow. This is a time-tested solution. I gave it to Lord Sun. He passed it on. Finally it reached all great Rishi Munis. Same truth I'm giving to you. Then all the discussion happened. Now you all have heard the summary. I don't need to summarize it again now. Different types of avatara, what is avatara siddhanta, everything was mentioned. Then the final part of 4th chapter was about knowledge. What is the prana verse of 4th chapter? Karmani akarmayah pashyet akarmani cha karmayah sah buddhiman manusheshu sayuktah krutsna karmakrut. That person who can see that actionless self amidst all actions, and he does not confuse the actionlessness of ahankara with the actionlessness of atma. That person is buddhiman. Saha buddhiman manusheshu saha yuktah krutsna karmakrut. He has very well integrated his mind, intellect, gained this knowledge. Give him as much work as you want. He will never be bound. Brahmaji, holding on to this knowledge alone, creates this whole srishti. This point also we had seen, if you remember. In the beginning, when Brahmaji was starting to elaborate creation, he said this is such a big task that anybody who stepped in karma, very quickly they get caught by it. They'll either get carried away by praise, or they will get swept away by criticism. And if I'm involved in so many things, Brahmaji says, I'm very afraid of starting this work. Then Bhagwan Narayana, he comes and gives Chatushloki Bhagavatam, where he says, the creation that you are going to start is mithya. Don't be too proud about mithya vastu. The one who is doing it, that ahankara is also mithya. Don't be too proud of the doership also. So what will bind you now? Doership is gone. The world in which actions are done, that is also gone. Just as it was possible for Brahmaji, he says it is possible for a sadhaka also. That is this 4th chapter, Karmani Akarmayah Pashyet, main verse of 4th chapter. Then different yajnas were described, which will help us train our mind for this knowledge. Last part of 4th chapter spoke about Guru Upasatti. How do you approach a teacher to gain this knowledge? Because if this knowledge is what is going to liberate us, where will this knowledge come from? I say knowledge will come from studying from Upanishad, going to a teacher, then studying it. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashtena sevaya. Go along with some offering. Pranipata, surrender yourself. Ask questions, do seva. Means if you really want this knowledge, take concrete steps to go and learn. Okay, that was the last part of 4th chapter. Now let us read the first verse, then we will come to the introduction of 5th chapter. You see now Arjuna is asking a question, and we have to appreciate how this question is different from question of 3rd chapter. Why is Arjuna asking this question in the first place? Arjuna uvacha Sanyasam karmanam Krishna Punaryogam cha shamsasi Yachreya etayorekam Tanme bruhi sunishchitam Sanyasam karmanam Krishna Punaryogam cha shamsasi Yachreya etayorekam Tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Sanyasam karmanam cha shamsasi. Bhagwan, you praised karma sannyasa. Karma sannyasa here, you can refer to the part which is in the last portion of 4th chapter. He said, withdraw from all actions, take time out, go to a teacher and study this knowledge. Impact is different, right? Doing focus shravanam and doing Shravanam while doing several things. With video off, headphones on, you're doing something and you're listening. That is one impact it will have. Second is you come in one place with a frame of mind where you cut off from everything else. At least externally there are no distractions coming. That's why we ask cell phones to be switched off. So impact of that Shravanam is very different. So Arjuna is asking Bhagwan, he says, you said this karma sannyasa is what you need to gain knowledge. Sannyasam karmanam Krishna shamsasi. You also praised karma yoga on the other hand. Now where did he praise this? Look at the last verse of 4th chapter. What is the last verse? Tasmad ajnana sambhutam hridstham jnanasinatmanah. Means that ignorance which is there in your heart, Arjuna, cut asunder with the sword of knowledge. Meaning what? First you have to go and gain knowledge. You have to sharpen your sword. Then only you can cut this knot of ignorance. So on one hand he praised karma sannyasa, he praised knowledge. Then second line he said, Chitvainam samshayam yogam atishto tishta bharata. Having cut asunder all these knots of the heart, get up Arjuna and fight the war. Means do your duty, do karma yoga. He said, Bhagwan, I am confused now. It is just like you are telling me, sit down and run. What should I do? Should I sit or should I run? I cannot do both. On one hand, you are telling me withdraw from actions, go to a teacher, learn the supreme most knowledge. That is sannyasa. And on the other hand, you are praising, stay wherever you are and do your duty. Karma yoga. You will reach your goal. And then final instruction you gave me in 4th chapter is, get up, do your duty. Tasmad atishta uttishta. Atishta means get up and sit down. In this knowledge, do karma yoga. That is what you told me. I am thoroughly confused. I am a military person. I like clear instructions. Either march forward or stop. I don't like, if you want, you can march forward. If you want to take left, you take left. You say, I am a military person. I like clear instructions. Yat shreya etayor ekam. Amongst these two things, please tell me what is good for me. I have faith in your words. Whatever you tell, I will accept. Yat shreyaha etayoho ekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Please tell me conclusively. No questions asked. If you tell me to do karma sannyasa, I will do. If you tell me to do karma yoga, that also I will do. Literal meaning of the verse is clear. Now the question is, what is the difference between this question and the question of 3rd chapter? What is the question of 3rd chapter? Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi keshava. In English, if you consider knowledge to be supreme, and that is what all of us have to attain, then why are you pushing me into karma yoga? And here what is his question? Between karma sannyasa and karma yoga, which one is better for me? So now pay attention, what is the difference? Conclusively, it is determined. All of this is from Bhashya only, I am just presenting in English. In 3rd chapter, Bhagwan said, or Arjuna's question was, for attaining that suprememost bliss, for liberation, which one should I pick? Karma yoga or jnanam? If knowledge is a suprememost thing, why can't I directly go and do that? For what? For moksha. For liberation. Between these two, Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, if Jnana Yoga is the supreme most thing, why can't I directly do it? Why are you pushing me in Karma Yoga? Over here in 5th chapter, Arjuna's question is, for Chitta Shuddhi, for purity of mind, between Karma Sanyasa and Karma Yoga, which one is better? And Karma Sanyasa over here, it is called as Vividisha Sanyasa. This word also you can write down. Vividisha Sanyasa means that Sanyasa which is taken without knowledge. That Sanyasa which is taken for the sake of gaining knowledge. That is called as Vividisha Sanyasa. Another Sanyasa is called as Vidvat Sanyasa. Vidvat Sanyasa means having gained knowledge, when person takes Sanyasa, that is Vidvat Sanyasa. Example of that is Taponji Maharaj. He was so rooted in truth, having done that absorption, having been rooted in that truth, then he took Sanyasa. What is that Sanyasa called as? Vidvat Sanyasa. Preparatory Sanyasa without knowledge, what is it called as? Vividisha Sanyasa. Ramakrishna Paramahamsji, when he meets his teacher, Totapuriji, absorbed in the truth, Sanyasa was only formality. That is called as Vidvat Sanyasa. On the other hand, if somebody is withdrawing from actions for the sake of gaining knowledge, that Sanyasa will be called as Vividisha Sanyasa. Simple words, right? Not confusing. Vividisha and Vidvat. 2 words. If you want a modern example of Vividisha Sanyasa, if there is a researcher or some professor, they take sabbaticals, right? 1 year they say, we'll take time off, go and study something else. Those who prepare for MBA exams, they say we are taking time off from work, we'll study, again come back. So why can't you do both? If I do both, I can accomplish neither. Means that other knowledge demands time commitment. If I'm busy with my work, I cannot do justice to the other topic. Those who write CPA exams, they take time off, it's a preparation time, not going anywhere else. Means you are not available to the world. That is secular Vividisha Sanyasa. So here also, for whatever duration we are withdrawing and exclusively focusing on knowledge, that part is called as Vividisha Sanyasa. So what is Arjuna's question now? Between Vividisha Sanyasa and Karma Yoga, which one is better for Chitta Shuddhi? Okay? Between Vividisha Sanyasa and Karma Yoga, which one is better for Chitta Shuddhi? Please tell me one conclusively. So in that first verse, if you want to add one more word, Sanyasam Karmanam Krishna. So before that Sanyasa, you can add Vividisha Sanyasa. It will open up more. Between Vividisha Sanyasa and Karma Yoga, Karmanam means Karma Yoga over there. You praised both of it. So what was the example of Vividisha Sanyasa? Go to a teacher, Tadvidhi Pranipatena, Pariprashnena Sevaya. Stay there, do seva, ask questions, gain this knowledge. You see, that I understood as Vividisha Sanyasa, you praised it. And you said that alone will give you this knowledge, that knowledge will liberate you. But on the other hand, you said, Arjuna, wherever you are placed in life, Karma Yoga, keep doing it. That will purify you. That will take you to your goal. Just now I am confused between these two. Which one is better for me? Is Vividisha Sannyasa better? Or is Karma Yoga better? This is question of 5th chapter. Question of 3rd chapter is between Karma Yoga and Jnanam, between Karma Yoga and Sankhya Yoga, he says for moksha, which one is better? And Bhagavan said this is not a valid question. Although he didn't say it directly, he said it in a way that he said this doubt should not have come to you. Very clearly I pointed out, Karma Yoga is the means, it's the preparation, Jnana Yoga is the final step. How come this doubt is coming to you? Which one is better? Even in the world we see so many courses we take. There are prerequisites. Unless you clear that, you cannot take the next one. So now you say, is the prerequisite better or is the final goal better? He says, no, both are needed. Unless you do the prerequisite, second step will not come. So 3rd chapter, that is how Bhagavan answered. Now here he is asking a different question. He is not repeating his question. He says, for purity of mind, for Chitta Shuddhi, should I drop everything, go to an ashram, withdraw and sit to gain this knowledge, Vividisha Sannyasa? Or should I stay wherever I am and keep doing Karma Yoga and get purity of mind? If somebody is a sincere seeker, this question will become their question. If somebody really wants this knowledge and they are striving hard, first question they will get is, I need more time. I need more focused investment of my energy towards my goal. But at the same time, I am unable to drop things. He says, Yachreya etayor ekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Bhagwan, please tell me conclusively, which one is good for me? Should I stay here and do things, or should I go somewhere else? Is the question clear of 5th chapter? If question is not clear, answer will not make any sense. Entire 5th chapter is elaboration of this question of Arjuna. Between Vividisha Sannyasa and Karma Yoga, which one is better for Chitta Shuddhi? He is not asking for moksha. He is asking for Chitta Shuddhi, purity of mind. Okay, so that is the background, and Bhagavan will answer this question in just his natural way of answering, no direct answers. He will first start by praising Karma Yogi. Then he will explain what is Vidvat Sannyasa. What did Arjuna ask? Vividisha Sannyasa. Bhagavan will explain Vidvat Sannyasa. What is that perfected jnani's mind like? How is he rooted in knowledge? He will also explain what is Jivan Mukti, liberation while living. And then he will connect 5th chapter with 6th chapter. Okay, this is a relatively small chapter, but this is how the topics are laid out. Now he is answering the question of Arjuna. He says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sanyasa Karma Yogascha Nishreyasa Karavubhau Tayostu Karma Sanyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate Sanyasa Karma Yogascha Nishreyasa Karavubhau Tayostu Karma Sanyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate. Sannyasah Karma Yogascha. What does the word sannyasi here mean? Vividisha Sannyasa. That is why these words are important. Vividisha Sannyasa means dropping everything, going to a solitary place, studying under a teacher, giving focused time, effort for this truth. Sanyasa means that. Knowledge is not there yet. But you are taking sannyasa to gain that knowledge. Sanyasa karma yogascha, vividisha sannyasa and karma yoga, nishreyasa karau ubhau. Both of them will bring good to that sadhaka. Meaning, both of them will bring chitta shuddhi. See, if you have to withdraw and sit in one place to do Shravanam, you will notice Damaha is coming naturally. If this format was not there, no rules were there, you could do whatever you want in between, do other things, come back, sit. You get tired, you can lie down in between. If these restrictions were not there, quality of Dhamma to come is very hard. And if you have a strict teacher, even if eyes go here and there, that will also bring lot of upadesha. But you realize, just sitting in one place doing Shravanam brings so much of sadhana chatushtaya. And this is an experience of every sadhaka. Remember your first satsang that you sat. 5 times you look at the watch, not done yet. But then slowly we realize our ability to sit down for 1 hour is also increasing. Nothing has changed outside. It is just our mind is getting more and more stronger. And some speakers, they will have start time, no end time. And for any reason, if you say, one of our Swamiji, you would speak in Hindi. His style was very free-flowing. Whenever he says there is class, you have to come. This is during the Vedanta course. He will not give a time. Sometimes he will say night 10:30, Mandukya class. 10:30 you came is okay. 10:30, 11:30, 12. And it's so beautiful that every word you want to hold on to. His mananam is so deep. Whenever he speaks, people would wait to catch his words, because he would not speak in general. And if somebody says, Swamiji, it's 1.5 hours, that is his last class. He says, you left everything, came here to study. What else is more important than this? But you see, the ability to sit down for 1.5 hours, that also comes with regular Shravanam. So Bhagavan is telling here, if you withdraw from different things, no doubt it brings qualifications. That is why Nishreyasa karau ubhau. Vividisha Sanyasa also brings purity of mind. Karma Yoga also brings purity of mind. Nishreyasa karau ubhau. But amongst these two things, tayostu karma sanyasat karma yoga vishishyate. Arjuna felt a sigh of relief. He said, between vividisha sanyasa and karma yoga, he says karma yoga excels. Compared to going somewhere, withdrawing, and doing that kind of intense Shravanam, he says karma yoga excels more than this. Now this is where we have to do mananam. And think about, why does karma yoga excel compared to this vividisha sanyasa? In vividisha sanyasa, what do? Withdraw from things, go within. More solitude, more reflection, more study. And in karma yoga, it is more outward. More actions, more of outwardly things are there. He says karma yoga is a very good litmus test of our mind. One Mahatma Ji would say, if you sit down and meditate, and you say you have become a calm person, don't trust in that calmness until you can practice it with your neighbor. Otherwise, what is the point? If nobody is around you, you are very calm. And moment person comes, you become agitated. He says Karma Yoga will give a very good litmus test of the quality of our mind, which Vividisha Sanyasa will not give. We will have some false imagination that we have perfected our mind. And you know, we talk about feedback loops, right? In programming and other things. Feedback loop of Karma Yoga is very quick. You do one action, response will come right away. You don't have to wait too long. When the feedback comes, that is when we can course correct. That is when we can course correct, again go back and say, where did I go wrong? What other quality do I need to work upon? Now what are we seeking over here? 5th chapter, Chitta Shuddhi. Purity of mind. Bhagavan says, now you see, between Vividisha Sanyasa and Karma Yoga is much greater. Karma Yoga excels to bring purity of mind than Vividisha Sanyasa. Okay, so this is the first reason. Second one is, in Vividisha Sanyasa, you have withdrawn from actions. Right? You are going to a solitary place, don't have too many responsibilities, not too many things on your agenda. To-do list is empty. That is when there is a very high chance of mind going into tamas. Tamas means inertia, lethargy. Even simple things, what it should be doing, that also it does not do. That also it does not do. He says that is the danger of Vividisha Sanyasa. Unless you are very well disciplined, unless you are self-disciplined, he says Vividisha Sanyasa can be disastrous for the unprepared. You know, sometimes we feel during Bal Vihar time, oh, so many classes are there, back to back, and so many other duties are also there, driving kids here, there to classes. I wish summer comes, everything is nice and laid back. Couple of weeks are okay. Then you realize whatever good routine we had, even that falls apart. That is example of this. Tayostu karma sanyasat karma yoga vishishyate. Unless you are alert, unless you are very well self-disciplined, he says between karma yoga and karma sannyasa, it is easier to work with rajasic mind than tamasic mind. Rajasic mind is already in motion. All you have to do is give it direction. Tamasic mind, first you have to pull it out, set it on track, then you have to give direction. He says, Arjuna, you are very blessed if you are already on the path of action. Your day is filled with activities. Don't think it's an obstruction to your spiritual journey. If you can manage it well through Karma Yoga, for you to get Chitta Shuddhi, such kind of a lifestyle will excel than Karma Sannyasa. And Bhagavan Krishna knows Arjuna's pulse. He knows what is his personality. He also knows where he will succeed and where he will find it difficult to succeed. Gurudev would say, Bhagavan Krishna tells Arjuna, if you go to Himalayas, first 2 days you will meditate. Then you will start chopping all the trees with your arrows. That anger of Duryodhana, what he did to Draupadi, will come in your mind. Will you be able to quieten it on the strength of knowledge? He says, no. With your Rajoguna, you will end up doing something even in that Himalaya. So it's better you stay here, open out your mind, play it out, and purify it. 2 points we saw, right? Why Karma Yoga excels. Vividisha Sanyasa. First one is feedback loop is very quick. We won't have some false idea that we have mastered our mind. The moment we are in Karma Yoga, it will show us what is the quality. How much has it opened up? How much is my acceptance? Whatever values we see in Bhagavad Gita, where do I get proud? Amanitvam, madambitvam. Where is my himsa pravrutti? And see, vasanas are such, they only need a trigger. Vasanas in general are unmanifest. But unless there is some trigger, it will not come out. So Karma Yoga will make sure whichever vasanas are there which I need to get rid of, those will become known to me. And then I can work with it. But if it remains inside, unattended, I say it will come to bother at some point. So that was the first one. And second one was, in Karma Yoga, at least mind is in Rajas. Whereas in Vividisha Sanyasa, if you are not alert, mind can go into Tamas. And to pull the mind out of Tamas, then to get it ready for Brahma Vidya, very difficult. Meditation will be only Sushupti Avastha meditation. Tamoguna mind, to directly take it to Nididhyasanam, I say it is all mere words. No such thing is going to happen. So this is Bhagwan's first instruction to Arjuna. If you are asking a question about Karma Sannyasa, Vividisha Karma, Vividisha Karma Sannyasa and Karma Yoga, which one is better for you? Conclusively, I am telling Karma Yoga is better for you. Don't go anywhere. Don't go to any place. Wherever Bhagwan has placed us, open up your mind in and through devoted actions. Puja Gurudev has one video called New Heaven on Earth. Have you all seen it? Just a half-an-hour interview somewhere in Boston. Very beautiful, precise questions, and he was a master in precise answers. So while he is giving the interview, he is telling the same point. He says, don't run away anywhere. Stay where you are. And right when he says this sentence, the bell rings behind. The church bell. He says, keep an ear out for the bell of the Lord. Wherever he is giving you reminders, learn the right message. And play out your mind. That is the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. It will save us from getting frustrated. If somebody were to put this condition, unless you take Vividisha Sannyasa, there is no knowledge. There is no moksha. Now if somebody is not interested in moksha, they'll say, okay, so what? Let us try it sometime later. But if somebody is really interested and they see limitations in this world, that person cannot again go back in the world. For that sadhaka, this becomes amrutam. He says, wherever I am doing the same kind of duties, I can still prepare myself towards a beautiful mind. That is where Bhagavad Gita excels. Now Bhagwan is praising Karma Yoga by praising somebody who has done Karma Yoga and has as though taken Sannyasa. Means one who has prepared his life very well, done Karma Yoga. He says that person who has done Karma Yoga, Bhagwan calls that person Sanyasi to begin with. You see how he mentions. Nitya Sanyasi Yo nadveshti na kankshati Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho Sukham bandhat pramuchyate Neyassa Nitya Sanyasi Yo na dveshti na kankshati Nirdvandvo hi mahabaho Sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Neyaha. Know that person. To be what? Neyaha saha Nitya Sanyasi. Saha Karma Yogi. Know that Karma Yogi to be Nitya Sanyasi. We'll come back to that word. Who is Nitya Sanyasi? Yaha na dveshti. One who has no complaints. Dvesha means hatred, but expression of that hatred is a complaint. Na kangshanti. Kankshati means desires. No insistence. No complaint, no insistence. That person is Nitya Sanyasi. Means even while he is doing actions, even while he is doing karma yoga, if he is able to manage these two pairs of opposites, no raga, no dvesha, strong attachment or strong aversion towards objects, towards people, towards situations. If somebody is able to manage this, while he is in Karma Yoga phase, Bhagavan calls that person as Nitya Sanyasi. You know what happens is when people take formal sannyasa, their name changes. See, when we are born, we never chose our name. Somebody, parents gave us, grandparents gave us. But the thing is, we did not have a say at all. We did not even know that our name is being given. Even if you didn't like it, you had no choice. But later when your name changes, and if you don't like it, there is a chance to express your voice to your teacher and say, you know, this name is too long. I don't like it. Teacher chants this verse. Neyaha sanitya sanyasi yona dveshtina kankshati. Sannyasi is the one who should not have any preferences. And your first preference is with your name only. Yona dveshtina kankshati nirdvandvo hi mahabaho. O Mahabaho, you have a lot of physical strength. The insignia of mental strength is being equanimous in pairs of opposites. Nirdvandva. If somebody can live a life like this, that person joyfully, cheerfully is cleansed from all impurities of the mind. Sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Bandhat here refers to impurities. Bandhat directly doesn't refer to moksha. Through a pure mind, he has to gain knowledge only. But for purity of mind, he says staying wherever we are and not getting shaken in pairs of opposites. That person crosses over all impurities. Sukham bandhat pramuchyate. But how is Bhagavan praising Karma Yogi here now? He is praising him by calling him as Nitya Sanyasi. He says Sanyasa is not only external action. External action is one part. But what is more important is the inner renunciation which happens. External renunciation is a ritual. Internal renunciation is a maturity in thought, where he is not getting carried away by pairs of opposites. Means Nitya Sanyasi means once a sannyasi, forever he holds on to sannyasa vritti. It is not that once you do some ritual, and then you can do whatever you want. You know, as long as you carry this thought that you are a sannyasi, the idea should be there should be no strong preferences, no dvesha, no raga. Raga is called here as kanksha. Okay. So we'll pause here. More will continue in the next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.